Hi there. I'm Lisa Hayward, and I currently teach 7th grade science at Evans Middle School in Ottumwa, Iowa. I am a third-year teacher and absolutely love what I teach, love everything about science, and so I feel like I'm in the right profession. One of the things, being a third-year teacher, I am learning all the time and want to learn and want to continue to do what I'm doing, but I also want to get better all the time. And one of the things I realized I needed to work on as a science teacher was my literacy skills. That's why this literacy class that I'm currently taking just really fit. It was perfect timing. Also in our district, we are learning how literacy fits into different curriculum besides just reading and language arts. So I feel like I'm getting a really good double dose of literacy to help me become a better teacher in creating reading for my kiddos. The one thing that I realized is that with our textbooks, it's mainly just text, few visual features, and a lot of information that is very, very hard for the students to digest. So the one thing I did was take the reading from the book, created a PowerPoint, and the kids take notes from there. If I feel that there's a reading that is important, I will pull it out of the book, but for the most part, the reading is very dry and there's not a whole lot to it. And the kids are like, how does this pertain to me? Why should I care? So I realized that with literacy, the key to getting them to care is it connecting to their everyday life. What is so important about the subject rocks and minerals that I should care about? You know, big one. Anyway, with that, the periodicals or the book I found, they're published monthly by a company called Kids Discover. This particular magazine / reading, I wouldn't call it a magazine, but scientific reading is a phenomenal way to insert literacy into your curriculum. Now, this is the first thing that I had done with literacy to make it a point to say, I did literacy in my class. So, by all means, this was a rough draft, but it worked. So, this unit we did rocks and minerals, and I found the perfect book that I wanted for the kids to read. There is no particular author. It's just, if you take a look at it, a whole bunch of different articles. There's some really good pictures in there with some reading, but very general reading, easy to understand, but at the same time, 7th grade middle school appropriate material. One of the articles, we had just finished with all of our rocks and minerals, and I thought the kids did a really good job. So for an easy day, I thought that I would copy this article right here called Gemstones Are Forever, and it's a 2-page article. And as you can see right away, the visuals are incredible. I think that was one of the things why I wanted to use this book. Not only it doesn't really have it does not have a main character, doesn't have a plot, but really it gives information to the kiddos, easy format to read, really good pictures that match with it, and everyday life connections. One of the connections that my kiddos found to be the most interesting was this picture right here. And it says, check it out, why do women wear diamond engagement rings on their ring finger? They wanted to know right away why that was so important. They're like, there's historical feature to that, and then on the back page it gives them the answer as to why. And it's about a superstition that the heart was linked to the ring finger, and that's why they do that. Anyway, I copied this article. They found that to be super interesting. What I did was I copied this article and we did a read aloud, think aloud. And what this was to they could highlight words that they knew. The vocab really went right with this article. So they're like, oh yeah, we talked about the Mohs hardness scale. And they're like, yeah, they felt good because they already knew the information. And then also, we talked about diamonds. That was probably one of the biggest things that we discussed as a class because, well, is it a mineral? Is it a rock? What is it? that really helped them to secure their knowledge about diamonds. One other thing they thought was super fascinating was this picture right here, and it is a jade bodysuit to preserve the dead. Chinese, there's believe that jade preserved dead bodies, so this was made for a prince so that his body was preserved. They absolutely loved something like this. And also artificial rubies versus real rubies. It showed them, yeah, we can in a lab make a ruby compared to a real one that's harder to mine, more expensive, and so on. I felt this reading was phenomenal for these kids. Perfect, good pictures, interesting, all right? Talking about all different things that pertained to them, why it was important to them. So anyway, this was my reading. There was also, so this is, it's Kids Discover and it's Rocks. Also there, I talk about earthquakes. So here's another one, and what I loved about it is it says, whose fault is it anyway? It really plays into their character as kids. So with a little bit of humor to it, it's not all about just the serious facts about rocks, minerals, volcanoes, earthquakes. And here's another one called Volcanoes. I would recommend this reading to anybody because it's easy to read. There's a lot of different activities that you can do also, and historical features, which I like to always put into my reading, my units, because I think it's important they understand how that all works. So this is what I read. I was excited about it. I learned quite a bit from this experience, from this Rocks and Minerals article, how to implement literacy into a unit and how to make it really important, but kid-friendly and a connection to their life. Because I said, guys, the world around us is important and you need to know, they always want to know, well, why should I care? This is why. And it gives it in a real world perspective that I really appreciated. Thank you for your time.